This weekend, we have three Power Pack webinars. The first one is Beyond ESOPs, where we will talk about how you can create wealth for your retirement through your ESOPs. The second is a vernacular webinar in Tamil, where we will talk about how you can invest for your child's higher education. The third is FIRE with mutual funds, where we will talk about what FIRE is and is it difficult for you to achieve FIRE. If you are interested in any of the three, click on the description below to register.
And he feels that as long as it is compounding, why should I disrupt compounding?
I agree, because there are two things which are happening. One is it is compounding. If it's a growth company, it's compounding faster. If it's a dividend company, just for sitting there, you're getting paid, right?
Yeah, the dividend has been enormous.
So if you take that overall yield, if I am a person who does not have a better idea, so what is wrong with a person who bought Colgate in say 78, 79 or HUL or Siemens or Nestle, any of those FARE dilutions and just didn't sell? He's still holding on or she's still holding on. They got fantastic returns. Now you can technically say you could have booked profits in Nestle, bought Colgate, sold Colgate.
And bought back Nestle, all that, yeah.
This is in hindsight. So a person who is not touched has also made money. But there are some times when you buy a share and you're not very sure about the quality of management. So sometime in 78, 79, I had bought Reliance, Orke, HDFC, all of that. Orke, I luckily sold off everything. But Reliance and HDFC also I kept selling, because how do you know it's good management or bad management? So 78 to say 85 or 90, it took me time to believe that yes, HDFC is a great company or Reliance is a great company, it will give you good returns. It takes time to get that conviction. It's not just because, oh, it's a subsidiary of a big company, it will do well. So for me, I did not need any such conviction in HDFC Mutual Fund or HDFC Life or things like that, but they were more violent. They went up, came down, went up, came down, all that happened. So sometimes you ride the cycle, but an HDFC Bank, I never had the guts to ride the cycle. I would have bought it in 94, I would have got some shares because I'm a HDFC Limited shareholder. I have never found the need to sell. Yes, last 3-4 years it has not performed well. Technically, you can tell me that I could have sold that and bought something else. In fact, Chola has given me better returns than HDFC, at least in the last 10-12 years, because of the last 3-4 years. But I would rather hold both. I've not got a better idea than HDFC in financial services on whom I can trust. Maybe there is some idea which can do better. I don't know. So will I sell all my HDFC and go to that company? Never. So will I go to zero in an HDFC? Will I go to a zero in Reliance? The answer is no, I will not, because whatever you say, 6 years of non-performance, 3 years of non-performance, I know one day they will come back, because you see good quality management, good franchisee build up, visibility right from Jammu, Kanyakumari, every place. It has to make money. As the country grows, it's a proxy for the growth in the country. Will I ever go to zero? No. Will I sell? Will I buy 100 shares of HDFC and sell? Will I buy 1000 and sell? Yes, maybe I'll book some profits. But overall, I see some of these shares as permanent place in your portfolio. There is no need to book profits. When you need money, you want to buy a house, you have a wedding in the house, you want to buy an office, great place. Go read it, sell something, buy something. So reallocation of assets, or you want to create new assets, then yes. Otherwise, I don't see any reason to sell. Like I said, like you said, there's no reason to show off. You just, if you want to really show off, then you buy show off assets. There is nothing you, or show off your demat statement saying, here is my portfolio, 25 crores or 30 crores. So how much have I put? Maybe 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, but it has grown so much over so many years. That's what you do. Needing to book profit. Fund managers need to, yes, they need to pay dividend and all that, but fund manager also M2M happens, and his NAV is reflecting that. There is no need to book profits even for a fund manager, except for paying dividends.
So, this maturity of not going to zero in a stock, selling everything out, itself takes a lot of time to come, because until people get that mental balance and comfort, they treat every stock position like inventory. They empty the inventory and replace it with fresh inventory of something else. So effectively, once they sell, it's kind of closure for them. Whereas in businesses which have the capacity to give you higher long-term returns in a more predictable way, you are basically closing the journey to that returns by treating the whole position as inventory and selling out completely. My sense has been that where people have sold maybe 5%, 10% every now and then, they have done better because once in 4-5 years they get a bonus also.
True.
So actually whatever they sold gets replaced by bonus, and a more rehearsed and slow way of selling makes them participate in multiple cycles. Otherwise, you buy a great theme and you participate only in one cycle. 4 cycles later, you look like you are very silly selling it just after one cycle. So, the concept of selling for the sake of showing or booking profits can often make you treat the position which you have built like inventory and make you sell everything out because you don't want to have some residue in the portfolio.
No, typically when a person buys a house to live in that, every day does not get a price. Nobody tells him today this is the share price or this is the price of your house. So he does not even think of selling. And it is very common to find people saying, oh, I lived in that house, I was born in that house, 30 years later I'm selling and things like that. That does not happen with equity. Somehow they think there has to be, like you said, there has to be a closure. Array, I bought it for 10 rupees, now it is already 35, when should I sell? It's already so profitable. That kind of a thing. Yeah. So if you bought Siemens at 70 rupees and today it is 7,000 rupees, there is some stress to say, oh my God, we have to book profits. But the person buying at 70 is not selling. But the person who bought at 6,500 is saying, oh, 6,500 to 7,000, let me sell. He is not looking at dividend yield. He is not looking for growth over a period of time and things like that. So he is selling. The old investor in HUL or Colgate or Siemens or Nestle, he is not selling. He is just holding and getting the dividends and living off it. So you bought these shares when you were in your 20s, 30s, 40s. In your 80s, 90s, you're living off the dividend. That's the way to do it. What I don't see, if you need money, it's different. If you think Colgate is 40% of your net worth, of your equity portfolio, you're booking profit. So those are solid reasons to sell. You can't sell just because the price has gone up, and similarly you cannot buy just because the price has gone down. The market is just trying to tell you something which you are not able to understand. Price is just one of the things. There are many other things you are seeing. Then you say, oh, maybe there's a fight in the management and things like that. For example, PSU shares gave you a fantastic opportunity to buy.
Correct.
And then you bought and then you didn't know what to do because it went up dramatically. Now you're really in a dilemma saying, I bought BHEL for 25, now it is 275, at what price should I sell, or things like that, and then you're wondering what to do. Some partial booking is necessary because your heart will never allow you to ride it till 2500 or things like that. If you have confidence, hold on. If you don't have confidence, partial booking, so as to say, okay, a part of my capital is recovered or my capital is fully recovered, to assure yourself because you're not very confident. That also can make sense. Otherwise, and if you need money, if you don't need money, if your current income is good, you're living off it, there's no reason to sell.
There is no absolute formula to selling. You can do whatever suits you. But it is important to remember that you should not sell too early. It's important to allow compounding to happen for a longer duration of time, and that gives you far more freedom later to sell. So restricting your freedom in the early phase in a good stock gives you disproportionate freedom at a later stage. Most people who sell want closure, and that's why they're selling. If you're able to avoid early closure and reduce your anxiety towards achieving closure, chances are that you will hold these investments for much longer periods of time to much greater success. That in essence is what I feel every investor needs to understand on selling, on the need to sell, and on when to sell. If all of us understand that, I think that our performance in the portfolio will be way higher than what we would otherwise achieve if we are an anxious investor waiting to sell with very, very tight timelines. That in essence is what we have brought out in this discussion. And
No, one more thing I want to add is, In case of mutual funds, there is no reason to sell as long as you know the fund manager is good, because he is doing the necessary profit booking, etc. So you can do an SIP in a fund for 30 years without worrying, or 20 years, whatever, as long as that fund manager and process you like. You can just keep there because he is doing all that for you. In your individual portfolio, you have to pay more attention. And I also think switching happens. Selling just for the sake of selling, very rarely it happens in portfolios. Individuals may still jump here and there, but largely what we do is switching. We don't sell.
So you have brought another angle towards the fag end of this video, which is switching. Maybe we will do another video on switching, which will go in detail into the topic. Thank you for the insights and a very engaging discussion on the art of selling. And I'm looking forward to the next one with you, Subra. Thank you.